Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Hemanto the Social Engineer. Today I am going to present second chapter Economics class 10 sectors of Indian economy. Before going to discuss those, you not yet subscribe my YouTube channel, so that you can get up-to-date information about different quizzes, video series on social science from class 6 to 12 and different videos on different important days and current affairs general knowledge. Without making delay, let's discuss. First, what is economic activities? Any activities which is related to production, consumptions, capital formations are called economic activities. It may be buying, selling, producing, making, and the activities which create value, the activities which create utility are called economic activities. So the economic activities are classified into groups using some important criterion. These groups are known as sectors of economy. So here is some pictures. First one is someone who is talking in the mobile. Second was someone sprinkling manners in the chemical fertilizers in the fields. And third one, the coolie who is taking baggage from one place to another place. Third one, some laborers who are working in the buildings works. And third one, there is some actions of some informations. So these all are activities around. So everything that you around are different economic activities which are meant for livelihood. Some may be producing goods while other may be delivering some services or whatever it may be. So all these are come under different economic activities. Next, that is classification of activities on the basis of nature. Sectors of Indian economy on the basis of nature, it is divided into three categories, that is primary, secondary, and third one, that is tertiary. Next, that is first we are going to discuss that the primary sectors. Before going to discuss, let's discuss about the diagram or three types of classifications of Indian economy. First one, basis of economic activity. On the basis of economic activity, the Indian economy is divided into primary, secondary, and tertiary. This is the first one. Second, on the basis of the organization, it is divided into two types, that is organized sector, and second one, that is unorganized sector. And the fourth one, that is on the basis of the ownership, it is divided into two types, that is private sector and public sector. Next, that is primary sector. Primary sector is the economic activities which are connected with the extractions and productions of natural resources. For example, agriculture, fishing, mining, etc. falls under the primary sector. Here is some pictures that all are related to the primary sectors. Some are working in the mining, and some in second picture someone collecting some forest produce. Third one who is working in the field, and fourth one the cattle rearings. These are all the come under your primary sectors. Next, that is your secondary. Primary sectors undertaken by directly using natural resources. Example, agriculture, mining, fishing, forestry, dairy, whatever it may be. It is called primary sector because it forms the base for all other products that we subsequently make. Since most of the natural products we get are from agriculture, dairy, forestry, fishing, it is also called as the agriculture or related sector, or agriculture or allied sectors. Whatever you may be, name the primary sector as agriculture and related sector, or agriculture and allied sectors. Next, that is your secondary sector. Secondary sectors, actually the activities which are related to the manufacturing process. For manufacturing of steel falls under the secondary sectors. Here is some pictures, that is manufacturing of different goods, manufacturing of your steels, irons, and here is some works in the industries. These all come under your secondary sectors. So secondary sectors It covers activity in which natural products are changed into other forms through way of manufacturing that we associate with industrial activity. It is a next step after primary where the product is not produced by nature but it has to be made. Some process of manufacturing is essential. It could be in a factory, a workshop, or at home. An example, using cotton fiber from plant, we spin yarn and weave cloth using sugar cane as a raw materials. We make sugar or gur. We convert earth into bricks. Since this sector is associated with the different kinds of industry, it is also called industrial sector or secondary sectors. So these are the some pictures that is given in the right side, that is the some industry, that is spinning, and second one, that is the making of the bricks. All these come under the secondary sector or industrial sector. Then next, that is third sector, that is service sector, or you may say tertiary sector. The economic activity that are mostly based on providing service to the society, like transportations, banking, insurance, communication, teaching, everything falls under tertiary sectors. Here is the some pictures that you are watching. All these are come under your uh, primary, tertiary sectors. That is tertiary sector. These are the activities that help in development of the primary and secondary sector. This is very important, that the tertiary sector actually helps in the development of primary and secondary sector. These activities by themselves do not produce good, but they are an aid and support to the production process. Example, transportations, goods that are transportations which play a very important role of different sector, that is in the primary sector, need to be transported by trucks or trains and then sold in the wholesales and retail shops. In the storage facilities, at times it is necessary to store these products in godowns, which is also a service made available. Communication, talking to others on the telephone, banking, borrowing money from the banks, and since these activities are generate services rather than good, it is also called as service sectors. So tertiary sector also called as secondary sectors. Next, that is the three sectors are interdependent on each other. Very important. On the exam point of view, you have to remember this. All three sectors, the primary sector or secondary sector or tertiary sector, you may say primary sector, the agriculture and allied sector, secondary sector, industrial sector, and the tertiary sector, the service sector. All these are interdependent, and one help for and support for other development. For example, the primary sector support the secondary sector, and secondary sector also support the tertiary sector, and tertiary sector which a, an important role to support both primary and secondary sectors. So all three are interdependent. You can see the Venn diagram here. The Venn diagram clearly depicted here the details informations regarding the integrations of three sectors who are interdependent. Here is the area, you can say these are the interdependency you can mark. So three important sectors are interdependent. Next, that is the how do we count the various goods and services and know the total productions in each sectors. This is a very important question. Here the idea of gross domestic product, the concept of the gross domestic product emerged. The value of final goods and services produced in each sector during particular year provides the total productions of the sector for that year, and the sum of the productions in the three sectors gives the gross domestic product of a country. GDP shows how big the economy of a country is. We can know how the country economy by knowing the total GDP of a country. So it is nothing, it is the sum totals of productions of three sectors, that is primary sector, secondary sector, and tertiary sector, which means primary sectors productions of primary sector plus production of secondary sector plus production of tertiary sector is equal to GDP or gross domestic product of a country. Always we should mark that all the value of final goods. We remember this very important thing, that value of final goods are taken, final goods and services are taken into account while calculating the GDP, the gross domestic product. Next, that is gross domestic product productions, the value of final goods and services produced um, in each sector during particular year, provides the total productions of the sector for that year, and some of productions in this sector, that is give gross domestic product GDP in the country. It is the value of all final goods and services produced within the country during a particular year. You have to remember this, the particular sentence that I am telling. It is the value of all the final goods and services produced within the country during a particular year. GDP shows how big the economy is. We can know the bigness of the economy by knowing the GDP of the country. Measuring GDP is undertaken by the central ministry with the help of various government departments of Indian states and union territories. This is the detailed information about GDP. Next, that is historical change in the sectors of three stages. How different changes that brought in the different sectors, let's discuss. Next, that is initial stage. After the observing the changes that have come in the development patterns of the sector, it has been found that in the initial stage of the development, the primary sector was the most important sectors of the economy in every country. It may be developed country, it may be developing country, it may be underdeveloped country, whatever the country it may be. First, all the countries, the importance of the primary sector is very, very high. But on the march of the time, on the passage of the time, the primary sectors, the primary sectors, the value of the primary sector decreases on the passage of the time. As the methods of the farming change and the agricultural sectors begins to prosper, it produced much more food than before, and many people could take up many other activity, which led to the increase in the number of activities. However, at this stage, most of the goods produced were natural products from the primary sector, hence most people were employed in the sectors. In the context of India, when we were discussing the different sectors of the economy, most of the people in India are who are dependent in the primary sectors, because most of the people who are engaged in primary sector. Next, that is second stage. And over a long time, on the passage of time, more than 100 years or so, because new methods of manufacturing were introduced, factories came up and started expanding. People began to work in factories in large numbers, and also people started using factory goods in large numbers as they were cheap. Secondary sectors gradually became most important in total productions and employment, and there was a shift, and the importance of the sector also changed, which means the primary sector lost its importance due to the more importance of secondary sectors, or due to the change of different methods, technological know-how. The people who were now before engaged in the primary sector now engage in the secondary sectors. So the importance of the secondary sector increases, and there was a shift, and the importance of the sector also changed. And third stage, that is in the past 100, there has been a further shift from the secondary to tertiary sector in the developed countries, and the service sector has now become the most important in terms of total productions. So when you are discussing these things, now all over the country, maybe developed country or the developing country, there is the importance of the service sector is very, very high as compared to the other two sectors, that is primary and secondary sectors, because the productions of the tertiary sector is very, very high in terms of productions. Most of the countries raising importance of the tertiary sector in productions. Over 30 years between 1973 to 2003, productions in the tertiary sector has increased the most, and it has emerged as the largest producing sector in India, replacing the primary sector. Now the tertiary sector replaced the primary sector, and role of tertiary sector in India. Transitions or transformations show level of country development. It improves specializations, but it's better to avoid extending service part in economy of over 40 to 50% of the GDP. Here is the growth of the Indian economy, growth in the percent at 1990 2000 prices, agriculture, forestry and fishing, construction, trade, hotel, transports. In these pictures, we clearly depicted that GDP at factor cost it is 8.5%. Electricity, it is the service sectors tax more importance in Indian economy. Next, that is where are most of the people employed and why? The primary sector employ the largest number of people in India. We remember, the very important for examination point of view, the primary sector employs the largest number of people in India. It is because not enough jobs were created in secondary and tertiary sectors. Here is some pictures of the primary sector. That is some people who are working in the field, and some people who are catching fishes in sea, and third ones the dairy farmings. Because all the activities, most of the people who are engaged in the primary sector due to the non-generations of jobs in the secondary and tertiary sectors. Next, that is underemployment. What is underemployment? It is a situation where people are apparently working, but all of them are made to work less than their potentials. If few people move out, it will not affect the production. It is hidden in contrast to the open unemployment, where a person is clearly or visibly without job. It is also called disguised unemployment. And this unemployment also happen in the other sectors. For example, there are thousands of the casual workers in service sector in the urban areas at as painters, plumbers, repairs persons, etc. And this is the underemployment situations when the persons who is visibly apparently working in the field, but the actual potentials were not actually used. This is called disguised unemployment. Next one, that is NREGA, one of the great scheme. That's a scheme that changed the Indian economy. That is National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. We may say the right to work that given under the EGA Employment Guarantee Act. You have the right to 100 days of employment in a year for each family within 5 kilometers of your residence within 15 days from applications on a local development project. National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, it was passed in the Parliament, and an act that is implemented from 2005, started by the central government, made a law implementing right to work in 200 districts of India. All those who are in need of work will get guaranteed 100 days work, and if the government fails to do so, it will give unemployment allowances to them, and the work will of the type which will in future help to increase the production from land. And now its name is changed, and the name is the MGNREGA, which means Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. In which is also some pockets, some area, some districts, the days also increase from 150 days to 200 days. Also wages also changes from time to time for betterment of the workers. Next, that is classifications on the basis of employment. On the basis of the employment, the sectors of the economy are divided into two types, that is organized sector and unorganized sectors. Organized and organized sector, that what we are watching, some in the office, some people are working on the computer. In the next, in the right side, the women working in weaving of some sari or whatever that be, he is engaged in weaving. So first one is, that is in the left side, that is the organized sector, and second one, that is unorganized sectors. So what what are the facilities, what are the important things of the or principles that the organize the employment into organized and unorganized. Let's discuss. In the organized sector, terms of employment are regular, so people have assured work, registered by a government, follow rules and regulations given in various law, has some formal process and procedures, have weekly holidays, have paid holidays, everything, some important facilities that are provided to the employees of organized sectors. These are some pictures or photos that given. These are the organized sectors. Next, that is benefits from the employees. Paid leave. What are the benefits of employees in the organized sectors? First one is that is paid leave. Without work, without not doing any work, you can also get paid. By taking leave also you could we can get paid. But and second one, that is payment during holidays. In the holidays also you can paid by the employers. Provident fund also there, gratuity also, medical benefits, workers get pensions after retirement. All these important facilities that are provided by the employers in the organized sectors. Next, that is unorganized sectors. The characteristics by small and scattered units which are largely outside the control of the government. These are there are rules and regulations, but they are not followed. There is rules and regulations, but that are not followed by the employers of the workers, and low paid jobs and the jobs are not regular. These are some examples. The maid who is working for washing the utensils, and some maids who are working in different factories, or you may see some different shops. These were the irregular works, not regular works. So it's treated as on organized sector. Disadvantages from the employers. There is no provision for overtime, paid leave, holidays, leave due to sickness, employees not secure. Example, farmers work on their own and hire laborers, and when this required, some people can also be asked to leave the job. Next, that is how to protect workers in the unorganized sectors. Setting up small scale industries in some rural areas, implementing many programs such as NREJ 2005, creating jobs opportunity in service sector, school, tourism, hospitals, allow credits at lower rate to the SHG groups and different people who actually want to do entrepreneurships or any wars. So job creation is very important, not only in rural area but also in urban area, for betterments of the workers, actually as reduce the unorganized sector. Next, that is India's workforce, organized and unorganized sectors. This is clearly visible that in the blue color the people who are engaged in the unorganized sectors, and in yellow color the people who are engaged in the organized sectors. It is visible, it is clearly visible that more people are engaged in unorganized sectors and less people are engaged in organized sectors. So we should take some steps, some important steps by the government, as well as some community based activities should be taken to increase the organized workforce, so that the unorganized sectors will reduce and all peoples will get benefited, and there should be a social security and gratuity and other benefits that enjoyed by the organized sector. Next, that is unemployment. What is unemployment? When a person is willing to work at the prevailing wage rate but fails to get a job, it is called unemployment. We can divide unemployment into 4 types, that is seasonal, disguise, 5 types, that is seasonal, disguise, structural, cyclical and fictional. So what is seasonal unemployment? What is seasonal unemployment? Let's discuss. The seasonal unemployment is the unemployment which generates due to the variations in the seasons is called seasonal unemployment. When there is harvesting season, when there is agricultural work, more people are engaged. and when there is no wars in the agriculture field, the people who work actually actually they not get any work. This is called seasonal unemployment. When there is lean season, people they stay idle, and this is called on seasonal unemployment. Next one, that is when more people are working than required, it is called disguised unemployment. All people are, it is apparent visible that all people are working, but some people whose actual potential were not used, where there is the creations of disguised unemployment. Next, when the economy failed to generate enough jobs, it is called structural unemployment. Actually such type of situation actually it creates in India, in the developing country, on the developed country, the underutilizations of the natural resources, underutilizations of the human resources create structural unemployment. Next one, that is unemployment that is actually created because of depressions, because of different natural disaster. It may be in the present situation due to the corona, all the people who lost their jobs. This is due to the cyclical unemployment. Next one, that is when unemployment happen because of transferring from one job to another. When people who engage in the agriculture field, and then they want to work in the secondary sector or tertiary sector, there is the transformation of the job. In this case, there is the situation of fictional unemployment. So this is all about the types of unemployment. Next, that is sectors in terms of ownership and public and private sectors. So this is the classifications of sectors of economy on the basis of ownership, that is public and private. Next, that is public sector, organized by the government, provide facility to the workers like fixed employment, fixed working hours, managed to provide public welfare. Examples of the public sectors are Indian Railways, hospital, parks, library, etc. are the public sectors. Next, that is some public services by the government. These are the Indian Railway, these are the IT sectors, these are the hospitals, all these are the post office. These are the public sectors. Next, that is private sector, organized by the private individual, does not provide fixed employment and fixed working hours to the workers, managed to make many profits for themselves. Example of private sectors are Birla Company, Reliance, etc. These are the pictures of the private sector. Next, that is qualities of public sector: job security, general benefit, more relaxations atmosphere. And qualities of private sectors: more opportunity for promotions as the company grow. These jobs tend to pay higher, more prestige, and then the private sector is supposedly more efficient and less bureaucracy. Next, that is qualities of public sector: job security, general benefits. This already discussed. Next, that is the end of the presentations. We hope all understand in details about the classifications of the important sector: primary, tertiary, secondary sectors, then organized and unorganized sectors, and public and private sectors. Thank you. Have a nice day.